Hello everyone. Welcome to this hands-on lab on creating a Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse. So before we dive in, let's understand what we are building and why it matters. Traditionally, organizations store their analytical data in a data warehouse, which is highly structured relational database optimized for SQL queries. But as data volumes exploded and data variety increased, from structured table to semi-structured JSON to unstructured files, a new approach emerged, and the data lake came. So, data lakes store raw files at massive scale with low cost but lack of structure and performance warehouse. Now it's coming the lakehouse, which combines the best of both worlds. It's unified architecture that stores data as files in a data lake but applies a relational schema on top, giving you the flexibility of a lake with query power of a warehouse. So in Microsoft Fabric, lakehouses are built on OneLake, which is a unified storage layer based on Azure Data Lake Gen 2, and it uses the open source Delta Lake format. Delta Lake is crucial here. It brings ACID transactions that ensures data consistency and reliability. It offers schema enforcements which validate data quality at right time. Then it's like time travel to your data files. So query and restore previous versions of data. Also table behavior, which makes file-based storage behave like a database table. So all these making a very good to use data lake. So now it's coming once how it actually works. So once your data is in a delta table, you can query it with SQL through automatically created SQL Analytics endpoint. You can also create visual queries using Power Query if you prefer a no-code approach. And because everything in Fabric is connected, your lakehouse tables automatically become available as a semantic model for Power BI reporting. The workflow is simple. Ingest raw files, transform them into structured tables, then query with SQL. After that, visualize with Power BI, all within a single integrated platform. In this lab, we'll create our first lakehouse and experience this hybrid approach firsthand. We'll upload a CSV file into a files area, which is like inside data lake. Then we'll load the data into delta tables. That's where the warehouse capabilities kicks in. By end of this lab, you will understand how Lakehouse bridges the gap between traditional data warehouse and modern data lakes. You will have hands-on experience with the core capabilities that makes Fabric such a powerful platform for data engineering. Let's get started and build your first lakehouse. Now we're going to do the very first lab, uh, like course my DP-700 Microsoft Fabric Data Engineer. Create a Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse. So for that, first we need to log into a Fabric window. Mm. So after logging in there, what we need to do, we need to create a workspace very first. So mm, there are different ways that you can create a workspace. So first you see that there's option from here, new workspace, you can create from here. You can select this workspace. You can do that from there. Here is the new workspace, and also there is option from here. You can see that create. You can also get that from there also to create a new workspace. So let me create a workspace and give a name. So for this, let me give that data fabric workspace 01. Oh, I did not click that button. Workspace 01. Give a description here, and then underneath that you see that advanced section. Uh, that actually includes the fabric capacity. If you check here, so fabric capacity, and there is an option like license mode, pro, trial, or premium per user. So now click on apply. So now here what we see that it's an empty like workspace. To create a lake house, what we can do, we can just underneath that workspace, we can click on new item. Similar way, we can go from here, we can do that one. Also, you can select this workspace, and then you can select that workspace. Ultimately, it's going to this page, then click on new item. And this page, there is an option that you can filter. So I'm going to create lake house, so search for lake, and under stored data, click on lakehouse. So give a lakehouse name. So data fabric lakehouse 01. Then I don't need schema. So click on create. This is normally very quick. So when you see that lakehouse has been created, check on left side under Explorer. You will see that there is one is browse tables and one is files. Options is there, so that you can see that one. Other option look here that the lakehouse, and also you see that SQL Analytics endpoint. We'll discuss that later on. So now tables folder actually contains tables that you can query mm, like using SQL semantics, and files folder contains data files in the OneLake storage for the lakehouse and that are not associated with the managed delta tables. So now let's upload a file. To upload a file, I'll share the GitHub link so that you can do lab yourselves. I'll save that file. Now go back to this lakehouse page. Now under files, let's create a new subfolder and give a name, data fabric uh, files 01. But lab is showing this name to data. So let's create a name data. And now we are going to here under data, we are going to upload that file. So click upload and upload files. Files is under download. So select that file, click on open and click upload. You can see that file is uploading. When that is done, close. Now if you see, click on data, you can see that cell CSV file has been uploaded. Now let's explore other things in where you may need some kind of shortcut. So if you see here that the three menu for this file folder, Now here click that one, and you see that there is option for new shortcut. So view the available data source type for shortcut. You can see there are different like internal source, which is OneLake, and external source like S3 compatible below storage, data lake storage Gen 2. So you can see those options are available, but we are not creating, so just close this one. Now we are going to load file data into a table. So for what we have done, we have uploaded this CSV file here under files. So now in many cases we may need to get data from the file into a table so that we can query from that data. So now here you see the three dots, select that one, and there is a load to tables. Click on load to tables, select new table. When that is coming, give a name. It has got cells. That is fine for me. To select the separator is default one, and then click on load. So loading that to table cells where under that lake house. So let's wait for table to be created. This will be under here. So sales table successfully created. So if we go there, you can see that sales table is there now. And if we check on view files, we can see the underlying files in this table. So files for this table, you see that this is a delta table, and that is stored in parquet format. And there is the other folder here that is actually like delta log, which actually store all the transaction related for this tables are logged. So now we'll query this table data. So for that, from this here, you see that the Lakehouse page will switch from Lakehouse to SQL Analytics endpoint. And when that page is here, that you will see the options. You can click new SQL query from here. You can also query from here. So let me here, if I click that one, is that new SQL query button to open a actually new query editor. So click that button. Now here we can execute the query. So if we, here is the run, if you execute the query, it's running. And we can see that the item and revenue. So we can see the total revenue for each product. Now we have done a SQL query. Now we'll go with a visual query. So select this new visual query button, and from here where is tables? Let me schemas DBO tables. So from there, drag that sales table into visual query. And we can see that the editor pane actually opens a Power Query, and that has shown below here. You can drag that up. Now from here is the manage columns. Select that manage columns menu and choose columns. From here, let's just select only sales order number and sales order line number columns, and then click OK. You can see only those two items or columns value here. Now in the transform menu, there's an option like we can select group by, and there's a group by option that how we want that one. So group by based on, for example, sales order number, and the new column name that we want, we can put line items. Then operation is there are different options. For this lab we are going to use count distinct rows, count distinct values, not rows, values, and column is sales order line number. When you are done, then just select on OK. So now you see it's showing here now the line items for each sales order showing there. So in this exercise, we have created a lakehouse and imported data into it. First we load the CSV file, then create a delta table, and then we query data from that table using SQL, and are included in a default semantic model to support data visualization. It's always better when your lab environment you work, just clean the workspace. So for that, you can go back to your workspace, and from here using the workspace setting, click that, and from general section go at the bottom and remove this workspace and click on delete. So we have successfully completed this lab. See you in next lab.